Hello, agentpreneurs, and welcome back to the Daily List Report. We have had quite a week here at List Reports for hopefully a lot of you. We had a big event last week called Tomorrow Together, and we announced our biggest product ever called Robin. We had thousands of agents. It was absolutely incredible. If you missed it and you want to learn more, we're going to have ways for you to rewatch that content and learn all about Robin because it's incredible. You won't want to miss it. All right. Here's what we did though. At the end of that, we had some breakout rooms, and in one of those breakout rooms, we did some social media talks. And so we answered questions, we shared some best practices. We had Ashley, who's been a regular on the show, Rod, who's been a regular on the show, and Ryan, our director of product, who's also been a regular on this show, all sharing best practices, tips, asking questions, and whatnot. And it was such good content that we decided to put it on the show because I know if I know anything, I know this. I know that you like best practices, tips, tricks, and things like that. And so we're going to share those with you. It was such good content, we're actually going to break this up into 2 episodes. So today is part 1, and then very soon we're going to post part 2 for you as well. And so I'm going to take a step back. I'm going to let you enjoy this. This was just recorded just a couple days ago. Super timely information. Of course, I always forget this while you're here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the little bell so that you're notified of all of this great content. And without further ado, here's part 1 of some social media tips, tricks, strategies just for you.
All right, well, hi everybody. My name is Ashley. I'm a communications specialist at ListReports. My co-hosts here are Ryan, our director of product, and Rod, who you saw on during our event, and he's our director of customer growth. So today we wanted to go over social media strategies for success. So I just wanted to go over on your 3 steps to social media success, a quick overview of the way that I like to strategize using content on different platforms. So LinkedIn obviously is very effective for building your business network. And I think what a lot of people think about LinkedIn is, well, that's not the place to engage with clients. So how do I use it effectively? And my advice would be sharing your thought leadership and showing who you are so that you can network and make those connections with your LOs, your agents, or your title reps, everyone that you need in your circle. This is the place to engage with them. So thought leadership, sharing important articles, industry articles that have your commentary on them, insightful comments on other people's posts. That's where you want to utilize that type of content. Now, I think most of you, and according to the poll, obviously, most of you use Facebook and Instagram. So that's where we're going to focus the majority of this breakout room on today. And I think that's most effective for connecting with your clients and even, those LOs and other people that you work with, you also want to connect there as well. But this is your place to really share eye-catching visuals, add a personal touch. A lot of people are a little bit, I think, wary of putting, you want your business account and your personal account. But I think that having a nice blend of the two is what really gives you that sense of authenticity with people and allows them to connect with you and therefore encourages your business. And then, of course, you always want to post content that's relevant to the consumer. So I'm going to stop sharing this poll for now, and then we're going to keep going here. So step 1 for me is always just to try to create engaging content. And I know that this is also the most intimidating step. So when I say that, I hope that doesn't scare you off and cause you to run, because I think there are 3 ways to break it down. Number 1, post consistently. And that doesn't mean you have to post every day or, you have to post a crazy amount, right? That's not what posting consistently means. It means set yourself a schedule and stick to it. If that's once a week, hey, I'm going to post a fun fact every Friday. Great, start there. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to jump head first and then running out of content. Start small and then build your way up, because what the consistency does is it gives your followers a way to touch base with you on a consistent basis. So even if you're only posting once a week, they still see your face coming up on their feed once a week. So that's going to build familiarity, build credibility, say, oh, I do see that name. Who is that person? Oh, she's a real estate agent. Oh my gosh, she's sharing really helpful facts. I didn't know that. I can buy a home. I didn't think that. I'm too young, right? So you want to build that consistency through, again, you don't have to do it every day, but choosing a couple days a week or choosing a consistent schedule is the number 1 way to start building your social media presence.
Yeah, and Ashley, just want to chime in really quickly. For those of you guys, 83% of you using Facebook, if you're not already taking advantage of their publishing tools to schedule your posts, you're really going to want to take advantage of that, right? Like as Ashley mentioned, you may only have one time in the week where you have it freed up to actually do the post. But if you have content from things that, your emails that you've received or fax or what your different service providers have sent you, like graphs and stuff like that, just get it all set up for the future, for the week. So that way it's just kind of dripping on people as the week's going along.
That's a great tip, because I completely agree. Sometimes I think social media can be overwhelming. I completely agree. So if you can take that time to schedule it out in advance, that's also a great way. If you have that schedule and you say, oh, I post these things on these days, you can set it all and forget it, right? You don't have to sit down and do it every day. So definitely posting consistently, changing up your content. And that just means trying to vary your posts. So again, if you're posting once a week, just make sure it's not the exact same thing every week, right? So if you have one of our shareables one week, then the next week I would post an article or a fun fact or something about you or a community amenity, just something different, so that when people scroll through your feed, they're not thinking, oh, that's old content, or oh, it looks like they use the same thing over and over. You want to keep them engaged by coming up with new stuff. And then my third step for the engaging content is always just keep in mind that you want to start a conversation. And that can be difficult, but so sharing something personal about yourself that people can relate to, asking a question, and more than just a yes or no answer question, right? Asking a question that's going to get people thinking. And I'll show you a couple of good examples of that actually right here. So this is just a great feed that I found of a woman who is a realtor, and she is just using a variety of content. And obviously she is using one of our social media shareables, which we'll go over as some pre-made content options. But you can just see she has some family and personal stuff. She has a couple event things. She has her branding, but it's a good variety, some fun facts, some memes. So there's something for everyone, right? When you go on, you're engaged, it's all different. It's fun. It's fun to look at, right?
And a tip on that, Ashley, one thing we like to focus on here at ListReports, certainly with our brand, with that kind of flows through our content, is authenticity, right? As you just mentioned here, there is personal content here as well as kind of more fact-related stuff. As a business owner, you need to be real. Your current clients or potential clients need to understand that you are a real human being and you're not just selling 100% of the time. But even something as simple as a family photo showing this, hey, I'm a great realtor. I will do great work for you, but I also have a family. That's important to me as well. So that kind of mixture of engaging content, I'm a real estate expert and I am a human. I think both of those can be just as performant.
I completely agree. We all love talking to humans, right? No one likes talking to robots. So for sure, use your authenticity, use your humor. If you have humor, I always say use humor. Everyone relates to humor. And then here, just a pro tip on this slide is just use a formula. So if you're kind of, I don't really know what to post, and it's intimidating when you get there day of, you're like, oh, I don't know. You can, post a shareable on Mondays, fun fact on Wednesdays, and something about a listing on Fridays. And that, it doesn't have to be super restrictive, but then that way you have an idea, so it doesn't feel like you're always scrambling for content. So that's something I like to focus on. And then I have a quick action item, which where Rod or Ryan, if one of you could share the links to these. I've made these social media templates. One is just a bingo, and it's just kind of a fun, we play games with it in ListReports, but what you can use it for is ideas for content. Because I know coming up with content ideas is just hard, intimidating, it takes a lot of time. So here on the bingo, we have a bunch of ideas for you to use, stuff like sharing a list pack, sharing a client story or testimonial, tagging a fellow real estate professional in a post, just things that you may not normally do that might get you out of your comfort zone, but also might help your followers and other people engage with you. And then I also have the social media checklist, which is just, again, kind of like one of those schedules. It's just a good way of varying your content and giving you structure so that if you don't really know where to start, we've already done it for you. So those links are going to be in the chat to an editable template that you can download, you can change, you can do whatever you want with. So that's there. And then I just figured we'd go over some tools for content creation. So we're going to deep dive a little bit more into some of our pre-made content because, we create it especially for you guys, for real estate professionals. And so we know that our content, how to use it, how you guys can use it to engage your following. And then we also have our notables. So as agents, if you get our daily agent email, our eclectic economist, Scott Brickson, he combs through all of the, news of the day, and he'll select 3 stories every day to share with you guys. And you're welcome to take those, share them on social media, add your own commentary. And they're things that are really relevant. If you find them interesting, it's likely someone else will too, right? Your followers, your peers, whoever it is, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you want to share that, feel free. That is a resource that we curate for you. And then on top of that, I like to use Canva because I feel like, you know, as much as there is pre-made content and content ideas, sometimes you just need to add that personal touch. And so Canva is my go-to. I made this presentation on Canva. It's a very easy to use design tool for non-graphic designers. I'm going to actually throw it over to Ryan because he is our product expert, and I wanted him to talk a little bit more about everything we have to offer for you through Shareables.
All right, hello everyone, guys. If you've seen the daily list report, you might have seen me talk about some product stuff. I've been with the company for about 6 years, so I've gotten to kind of have my hands on everything that ListReports has been able to push out to all the entrepreneurs out in the world. So one thing that came out last summer was our daily shareables. Many of you are very aware of these. Maybe some of you are not so much. But just know, if you are a subscriber of our daily agent email that AJ mentioned in our presentation, these are delivered straight to your email inbox every single day of the week to make them easy to share for you. But I wanted to give you a quick look at what these things are in product, just to make sure, you know, to go along with that kind of different types of content that Ashley mentioned that you can share. You know, some stuff's going to be pre-planned, and sometimes, you know, you might not know what that pre-planned content should be for the day. You know, so we've made it very, very easy for our agent users to grab and go, essentially. So these are our daily shareables. This is a shareable right here. This is a piece of graphical content. And every single day, these are going to be different. Sometimes they are going to be motivational quotes. Sometimes they are going to be just fun. Sometimes it's, you know, a specific stat about the market. It's going to, you know, inform your user base and your sphere of influence and make it sure that you look like the, you know, the market expert in your area. And one of my favorite things about these daily shareables that you can share on your social media channels is these are made by real humans every single day. We actually have a member of our team, Bree, who is a real human. She outsources work to real human designers all over the world, South Africa, everywhere. And these designers are actually making these things up, you know, every single day. So they are custom works of art delivered straight to ListReports that we're able to deliver straight to our users. And sometimes you'll actually see who the featured artist is on this page. This is Gregory Darrell. He's one of my favorites. He comes from South Africa, and he made this shareable. And so we give you the daily visual content that you can put on your social media channels. And, you know, sometimes you also don't even know what to say, and we want to also make that easier for you. So we've actually written up a relevant caption as well as relevant hashtags that all you have to do is one-click copy. And this is going to be ready to share to your Facebook. It's a one-click share to your Facebook feed. You know, this is, you know, if you've ever shared to Facebook, you're probably familiar with how this works. It just goes directly to your Facebook button. And I already copied that caption, and boom, I might have just finished my entire social media sharing for my business for that day. You know, and it took me from 8 a.m. to 8:01 while I was having a sip of coffee. So those are our daily shareables, and those are available to you right now in your ListReports account. But they mentioned there might be a preview of something new coming soon. So I wanted to really quickly touch on something that we actually trialed earlier this year. And what that was called was premium shareables. And some of you may have noticed those in our product, some of you maybe not. And we're happy to say that these are coming back in a big way soon here in the future. They're not yet available for you, but they are soon going to be available in your ListReports account as a paired agent feature. And as you know, sometimes you pair with your loan officer in the ListReports platform in order to gain access to some more premium features. And so premium shareable is going to be one of these. So I just want to jump over here and just spend a moment just so you get a sneak peek at what's coming, so you can get as excited as we are about it. So this is another one of our daily shareables. So once premium shareables is released out to the masses, you'll have a very similar page to what I just showed you. You know, you're going to have your options to cycle through any of the day's shareables for that specific day. You're still going to have your caption, but you're also going to have different options to choose from this list that you didn't see in the previous current version I just showed you. So I'm going to stick here for a moment on your daily shareable. And one thing that premium shareables is going to allow you to do is actually brand this, right? Every agent wants to be able to showcase their brand, their brokerage's colors, whatever it might be, their contact information. So we've actually given you a lot of kind of template colors. We're going to be giving you some, you know, we've gone to some of the larger brokerages and found their color schemes and made those available at the click of a button. I'm going to go ahead and click Minty and show you what happens here. So you see this, the shareable kind of grew. It now gained potentially your brand's colors, and you now see it grew this footer that now has my company's logo, my contact information, my headshot, and I have the ability to add a tagline now. There's a space up here you see is blank. So you're gonna be able to go ahead and add text of yourself. So call me soon. Great. So call me soon is now showing up right here. And that can be whatever you want it to be. This is your opportunity to get very creative. And now it's the same, you're gonna copy this the same exact way. It's gonna be as easy to share on Facebook as I just showed you a moment ago. Real quick, you also have, you're going to have other options such as fun fact shareables. So if I live in Anaheim, California, which I do, you know, we have a pulse on the market stats in all of our agent users areas. And you'll notice that in your daily agent email you receive in your inbox every morning. We're able to push, you know, market stats and new listings to you every single day. So we know that currently in Anaheim, the median price in Anaheim, California of the homes on the market is about 650. So you actually have the ability to pick some of the fun facts that we sometimes show to our users and make available. And let's go with indoor skydiving experiences. You can see what I'm talking about. This shareable now turns into I am a market expert. I know the cost of homes in this area, but also, hey, with that much money, you could buy 8,400 indoor skydiving experiences, and a fun little anecdote that follows, kind of, you know, showing some of your personality as well as some of your market expertness. And same ability, I can go ahead and do boom Minty, and I can go ahead and do boom call me soon. You'll notice that that tagline I added a moment ago is actually there available for me to reuse as much as I'd like. So again, boom, share to Facebook. Now, one additional thing before I pass it off to the rest of the guys is when Premium Shareables is out, there's an added bonus of sharing this to your Facebook feed, and that is lead capture. Your daily shareables today doesn't quite do this as well. This one's gonna make it super easy. So I share this guy out on Facebook. All of a sudden it turns into a clickable asset. Anybody in your sphere of influence that clicks on that thing now goes to this beautiful landing page with a nice big look at that shareable you just shared on your Facebook wall. But now this right-hand rail has your face, your branding, and contact information, and the ability for any consumer, whether they're a current client or a potential client, has the ability to put in their information, and you are now going to receive a lead in your ListReports account and a boom, an email text notification letting you know this person is looking to get in touch with you, Janie Realtor in this case. And that is going to be Premium Shareables, folks.
Yeah, and just to layer on one thing, hopefully, just in case it's not coming through, is that this is building you a website landing page for a shareable asset. So when there's a very deliberate call to action for some of these things that you're going to want to do, now there's like a very low barrier for them to actually fill out their information and for you to get that information, which obviously there's probably people from different levels of experience here, but you can tie this in your CRM emails and things like that. Make sure that people are able to share those to their extended networks. So just like today's is all about converting a renter to a buyer. I mean, shoot, we want to make sure that that's being exposed to everyone, right? And here, you're not just giving a static image with a call to action to call you now. Now, there's also opportunity to capture someone on top of that. Really powerful stuff.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rod. Appreciate that. All right, Ashley, I'm going to stop my share.
Perfect. I'm going to grab it back from you just for a quick second. So yeah, just to reemphasize, I think Ryan just did a great job of summarizing. Just with Premium Shareables, we've just we're upping the game here, and this is coming soon for both agents and LOs, so everyone look out. But you're going to be able to, like you said, customize it with your branding. You're going to have that clickable lead capture page. That's huge. That's just absolutely major. And then again, like you said, new options for varied content. So again, I know finding content every week can be tough, but this way it just gives you a few more options where we provide it for you. You don't have to think, you don't have to do anything. It's just there. And then I just wanted to show some examples of some of our great, really awesome shareables and people sharing them really successfully. I just love seeing people use, obviously we give you the caption and the hashtags, and the hashtags are huge. Like we've seen our ListReports hashtag and our home expert hashtag have blown up. Like I think we have, I don't know, Bree's on the call. Bree might actually know how many exactly, but I think we have at least 250,000 posts for both of those hashtags. And that just goes to show I'll talk about hashtags in a little bit actually, because there is a difference in the way you want to use them versus you want to use a hashtag to build your brand versus be searchable. And so these are just really great posts that I pulled just from searching these hashtags, and I just scrolled through and found a couple, and you can just see a lot of people, wow, didn't know that. What a great post. Interesting facts. I love this. That's nuts. People, it's just a fun fact. And that way you're engaging, you're providing content for people. And we've even heard a couple people be like, hey, I didn't know this. You know, I don't have to put a down payment down. Okay, sign me up. I'll buy a home. It's kind of crazy. So we also have list packs. Oh, Rod, did you have something to say?
Yeah. I wanted to just point out a couple things over here, specifically as it relates to like these Instagram posts. So I actually did pull this up right now. Our hashtag that we're using to monitor this is hashtag house expert. That's what we made internally just so we can monitor this. Instagram, which it has a much more challenging barrier as far as usage goes and plugging in compared to Facebook. These social media posts have been shared 231,020 times. 231,000 times. So the most important thing to highlight with that is, first, it's not necessarily about the exact number of likes with these types of things. It's about being consistent and being top of mind when the moment is right for your sphere of influence, your followers, your network, right? You don't know the moment that it is time for them to do something. But the reality of the world that we live in is every consumer knows 2, 3+ agents, maybe a couple LOs. And if you aren't posting consistently, it's going to look like your work is a little bit inconsistent too. And then you're probably going to be forgotten in comparison to the one other person in their network that's a little bit more consistent. So take seconds out, give a recurring calendar event for yourself, and make sure that you're.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And thank you, Rod. And yeah, like we said, we provide those hashtags, and I will talk more about hashtags, but as Bree's commented, Bree's actually one of our social media experts as well. She helped create shareables and has been running them and is amazing at it. And so she, when this first got started, she was just on the game with hashtags and saying, we need to provide relevant, searchable ways for people to get these posts seen. And so every hashtag that we select, we do some research on and we look into, and we make sure that it's very topical. And we try to give you the ones that are going to be searched most often, so that if people ever look, you know, I need a real estate agent, I'm hashtag real estate agent, your post is going to show up, and then they're going to click on you and your profile and ask you all the questions that they have. So that is always our goal, is to source them back to you. And like I said, I will talk about hashtags in a minute, but we definitely keep that in mind when we're giving you these hashtags. So if you ever, and you don't have to even use our shareables. I've seen people take our copy, just the suggested captions in the shareables, and they'll put it on their own content, which I love because that's being creative. But if you don't always know what to say or how to say it or what hashtags to use, we've got you. You can use any piece of our content in any way you want, as long as it's servicing you and getting you engagement online. That's what we're here for. So another piece of curated content that we have for you that you may not actually know as much about. This is kind of new, and I love list packs so much. I think these are one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But it's a free curated pack of listings. We call them list packs, right? It's a collection. And these automatically update. So what this is, it's a link. You can share it on social media, in an email, whatever you want. But it's a collection of listings, either based around a common feature. So as you can see at the bottom, we've got homes with pools, upgraded kitchen, homes with great schools, all of those. Or you can create your own custom pack with selected listings that you're like, okay, I want these 5, and I'm going to put them in a list pack, and I'm going to send it to my buyers. And the way, if you do that, they automatically update. So our pre-made ones that are around, you know, the homes, all these ones at the bottom, those automatically update with new listings whenever the MLS is updated. So they don't go stale. You know, you don't have to worry about, oh, well, I shared that last week, so it's old news. No, it is always up to date. Now, if you collect a couple of your own, right, you send 5, we will update those to say, oh, that property is now off the market. You know, that'll show up. We're not going to add any new properties because you've obviously selected the ones you wanted in there. But with our pre-made ones, we take care of it. You do not have to worry about it. You share it, boom, don't have to think about it. It's on us. And so Ryan actually was going to jump in and show you quickly how to share from our landing page and our website. He was just going to give you a quick run through just to see, because it's hard to find sometimes, you know, all the things.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Perfect. Go ahead, Ryan.
Right,
I stopped.
Okay. So as we mentioned earlier, right, it's important to post consistently, but also important to vary it up, right? We love our daily shareables. We hope you do too. But potentially, if that's all you're posting every single day and that's all someone sees on your feed, maybe it becomes stale. Maybe you're not getting as much out of your consistent posts as you would hope to. And so we wanted to kind of fill another gap in our agents' needs, right? You don't always have a listing of your own, potentially. But that doesn't mean that your business stops to a halt. That doesn't mean you don't need to continue building your brand and getting stuff out into your social sphere. So we came up with list packs, right? There's something that any consumer, whether they're in the market to buy a home or not, people love looking at houses. And what's the best way to turn a cold buyer, a on the fence or humdrum buyer into someone all of a sudden, hey, I actually like that home I just saw. Maybe I am in the market to buy a home. Let's call my agent, right? So you want to get listings and out in the world. People love it. So we've created list packs, and this is available today. We released this earlier in this year. This is available free to you as long as you're paired with a loan officer in the ListReports product. And you'll find it right over here on your left-hand nav menu. So I want to give you a real quick look at just real high level what a list pack is and how easy it is to share. So you're going to go to your list packs page, and Ashley mentioned the idea of these live list packs, right? So really all you need to do is focus on the areas that you do your business, that you're looking to drum up some more leads and get out there. So right now I'm going to say La Jolla. I love the area of La Jolla in San Diego. Beautiful homes I could never afford if I tried. And you'll see here that there are different categories. We've picked some very popular ones with consumers: single level homes, homes with great views, homes that contain pools in the backyard, upgraded kitchens, et cetera, et cetera. And so what you do is, let me show you what this means. What is a list pack? And this right here is a list pack. You can picture this like a book. There's a front cover, there are the contents, and there's a back cover. The contents of this book are the listings. So if I am on my ListReports account and I jump into this homes with pools, you're going to notice something. This looks very similar to what you just saw on our daily shareables, right? There is a shareable asset that someone would see on your Facebook wall. There is a simple one-click button to share this to Facebook, just like we did with shareables. And we even, again, gave you a very kind of simple caption that you can use when you share this. This is just as easy as shareables. What's wonderful about this shareable post, like we kind of touched on with premium shareables, right? We added this click-through element for your sphere of influence, somewhere they could click through that shareable and go to that lead capture page. ListPacks has a click-through action too. Someone's cruising along your Facebook wall, they happen to see homes with pools in Anaheim. That sounds intriguing, I love pools. So a consumer clicks through that, they land on your list pack. And it's got a nice cover page with your information, your contact information, your photo, all that. So this is coming from you, it's on behalf of you. Maybe it's not your listings. Hopefully you do have 59 active listings, but maybe you don't. So this is a way for a consumer to just cycle through listings that you have kind of curated, really essentially, we've curated on your behalf. We've just made them available to you. So as a consumer on my phone, on my desktop, I'm able to cycle through these listings just one after the other, just looking at them. And this listing detail page looks similar to what you saw on Robin during the presentation earlier. And at the end of the day, there are several opportunities for myself as a consumer to turn into a hot lead. All of a sudden, I loved 1212 Muirlands Vista Way. I wasn't even thinking about buying a house, but now that you showed this to me, boom, I fill out this lead form. You're going to get the lead on your ListReports account. You're going to get the text and the email. I am now a warm lead. So the beauty of list packs is that we hand curate these listings for you. We package them up nicely. All you got to do is tell us what area you like and choose a category. Now, I won't go into the nitty gritty. I'd love for you to dive into your ListReports account and check these out. But the highest of level, Ashley touched on this. You do have the ability to take our pre-curated categories, but you can also go up to this custom category and you can actually create your own list pack. You can name it, you choose the cover image, you can actually choose the area that the listings are going to be relevant to, and you can actually filter it down, much like you might do on your MLS, right? You can do 3 beds, 2 baths, single family homes, only ones that have pools. And you're going to actually create your own list pack that then you can wham bam, one click share to Facebook, and it's going to behave, it's going to be lead capturing, it's going to do everything that the grab and go list packs will do for you that you just saw. So
And Ryan, if I may chime in on there really quickly, so for you guys as agents, right? The MLS is so powerful. We have every listing in our fingertips, but we don't have the MLS and the ability to nicely have a consumer-facing version of lists of homes that you've picked. It hasn't existed, right? You can't just grab a list of homes that you would like to say are great in this one city, whether it's on a recurring basis because it's a competitive price point, or whether it's because they're great fixer-uppers, or whether it's moving from inland to coastal cities. So here you can get all of the lists of homes that you would like, whether live and constantly refreshing evergreen, or just cherry pick specific homes and feature them in a consumer facing way. Really, really powerful. So think about with building this list pack, which is its own landing page, if you had a website that was dedicated to picking out specific homes and only displaying it in a consumer friendly way, well, what would you do with that? Would you put it in community groups on Facebook that you're a part of? Would you make it a part of your CRM? Would it be in your Instagram profile with an arrow pointing down saying, check out my featured listings? These are all of the things that you can do with list packs with the flexibility of both live and cherry pick. So allow yourself to be open-minded and think about, man, if I could take any home on the MLS or any homes on the MLS and show that to the consumer in a compelling way, what would I do with that? List packs is the answer to that.
Exactly. And I have to say, even like I am not an agent, but I am a consumer, and I'm in my mid 20s, young 20s. I'm not looking for a home. But these things are addicting. I will, like, when people share these, Rod, I've seen you share a few of these, and I will click through them anyway, just because they're so visually engaging. It's so interesting to know what's going on in your area. And so I feel like, in a way, like the fact that they do stay updated and you can share them at any point, I definitely get addicted to them, and they're our product. But I like to play around with them all the time. And so I think, and again, I'm not even looking for a home. Who knows? Rod might sell me one of these days. He's always working an angle
Oh,
there.
I will.
no, Rod's solid. We did my grandparents' house.
That's true. He actually did sell your grandparents' house. And didn't you do it in like a weekend? Oh my
Yes,
gosh.
you did. Oh, above asking.
Above asking in a weekend with the power of list packs. No, I don't know.
Don't hype me up, guys.
Hey, what works works. All right, I'm going to take the screen back from you, Ryan, if that's all right.
It's all yours.
But yeah, so that's just the cool part about list packs. I think that's just a product that it just makes your life easy. It's easy to post content. You don't have to worry about it updating. And I think we've had a couple people say stuff like this. I spent $30 on a list packs Facebook ad. So that's the fun part too. If you take these and you plug them in and you boost them, or you make an advertisement out of them on Facebook, we've had people get 21 leads, multiple leads, where that's just, I feel like, I don't know, Rod, you'd know the numbers better than me, but I feel like that makes it so worth it. This is a free product. You spend $30 on Facebook, and if you turn around and get 21 leads out of it, that's like a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think the list packs is, I don't want to beat a dead horse. It's a limitless product in what its potential is. Any way that you want to display a home on a single level or multiple levels, it allows you to do that. And if you go and promote this and engage someone who you otherwise wouldn't have done, which obviously things like Facebook are really powerful right now, if you target the right people, right? You can imagine if you're like, these are the best flip opportunities in our county. I mean, anybody with money that is looking at that, they're going to poke around a little bit on that. So definitely tons of opportunity. Doesn't cost you anything outside of how you choose to make sure that you're exposing the best homes.
Exactly. I think it's just so cool. Such a cool product. So, okay. And then lastly, I just was going to say, you guys know our marketing kits. I don't need to go in depth about this, but one thing is, I know with the converting to, pandemic and everything going on online, our marketing kits are something that you can still post online. You can post on your social media, you can email it to people. And we have that really handy dandy text to lead code, which a lot of people, I feel like, underuse this because it is custom and it is lead capture. So if you take that code and you put it in your Instagram bio and you put it on your Facebook profile and you share it out with people, and you just randomly suddenly get texts, right? Like people are texting that and they're getting sent the property details and they're going right into your My Lead section in your account. So I just think that's something that I love that we have. And I don't think a lot of people always know how to use it, right? It's great when you stick it on a sign writer, but you may or may not be using SignWriter still, what with everything going on. So instead, stick it on your Facebook profile and just see what happens. If anything, it's just another way to get your name and face out there. So that's just my tip there. Moving on to step 2. I'm sorry, step 1's definitely the longest.
One other thing too, to add on the marketing kits, guys, I'm not sure if you guys are thinking about doing this ever, but remember that you don't have to use our direct like plugins to Facebook. Use the images, right? So right click and save from the view screen, or you can drag and drop it to your desktop. Get as creative with our stuff as you can so you're visually giving something new, right? And make sure that you don't forget to celebrate all stages of the listing life cycle for your transaction. This is a thing I see all the time. People are only saying like just sold, but they're not really celebrating the stuff in between with different pictures and things like that. And shoot, we give you multiple flyers, multiple postcards in multiple sizes and designs. So make sure that you're mixing it up, and make sure to grab images specifically if for some reason you don't want to use this specific plugin.
Absolutely. And like we said, when you're saying, oh, if I want to post something about a listing every Friday, we have 3 different versions of postcards. We have a single property website. We have infographics. You can choose a different, we have over 25 pieces in every marketing kit. You can choose a different piece every week to share so that it's not looking the same. Like I was saying, avoid looking the same all the time, but you can still be posting about listings on a consistent basis. So,
all right. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed today's show. We have all of our best experts here, right? What a great conversation. What great tips and tricks. I hope you find these useful. Put them into practice today. These are things that you can do right now. So get on that. Again, stay tuned for part 2. We're going to do the rest of that presentation and that conversation and discussion. We're going to share the rest of those tips and tricks with you. And until tomorrow, be safe, be healthy, be happy, and we'll see you soon. Bye.